Hey yogis, welcome back. This class is called Muscles on Your Mat. So if you didn't know, I teach this class every Monday night at 7 p.m. UK time, and you will need a block or two and a couple of weights. So this weight is 2.5 kilograms and it works quite nicely for me. So kind of going for a mid to light weight. So if you haven't done this class before, you could also optionally use no weight. You could use a 1 kilogram weight, or this is 2.5 kilograms. If you do this class a lot, maybe you're upping your weights or you're having a few selection at the top of your mat. You also just need your yoga mat and yourself. This class is going to energize you, and it's a combination of yoga movement and strengthening exercises using weights, so we have strong and healthy bones throughout our lifetime. So when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin seated on our mats, bringing left hand on the heart center, right hand on the belly. Closing the eyes, we're just going to take 3 breaths here, in and out through the nose. Then keeping hands where they are. Still breathing, slow in and out through the nose. Coming up with your affirmation, your intention for the class. How do you want to feel? For example, it could be, I am strong, I am determined. Something that motivates and grounds you. When maybe you feel challenged, or maybe you feel like something is too difficult, you can bring your mind back to this intention. And once you have your intention, I want you to imagine you've got a piece of paper in your mind with a pen, imagining the colour of the ink of the pen, holding the pen and writing your affirmation 3 times on that piece of paper. And then placing that piece of paper on the top of your yoga mat. Breathing in and out. Release the hands down. Keep the eyes closed. We're going to start with our cat and cow. Inhale, arching the spine. Chin up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, opening. Exhale, closing. A few more times. Using your breath as a guide to help you in and out of the movement. One more round. Coming back to neutral and blinking the eyelids open. Welcome back. Let's add in a little bit more movement now. So let's come up to kneeling. And we're going to inhale, cactus the arms, just like we were doing before. So find that slight arch. Exhale, we're going to push the hands away, rounding the upper back. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. And you might have the elbows at shoulder height, or you may play around, bringing them lower or higher. Same with the reach forwards. Take a few more breaths here. Good. And then we're going to add some side stretches in a moment. So going back to those cactus arms, we're just stretching to the side, keeping the cactus. Inhale to center, exhale to side stretch with the cactus. Again, inhale to center, side stretch. Center, side stretch. Back to the center, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Now I want you to imagine there's a piece of rope and you're climbing the rope. So each hand alternating as you're reaching, climbing up the rope as high as you can, reaching up and then pulling it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1, release, have a shake out. Reaching the arms in front, grab the left forearm, make a fist with the left hand, and start to make circles with the wrist. Try not to move the rest of the arms. That's why you're holding onto the forearm, to keep the rest of the arm still. Switch directions. And change sides. So grab the right forearm, make a fist with the right hand. Again, we're going for our little circles. Change direction. If your wrist is clicking like mine, just know that's normal. As long as there's no pain there, we're okay. And have a little shake out. So now you're going to reach the arms behind, and we're going to take our shoulder rolls. So imagine there's a block behind, and you're trying to squeeze that block whilst rolling the shoulders. And if you're juddering a bit, just know you're probably doing it right, because that just means our brain is learning that new sensation, that new style of movement. Change directions. So rolling forwards and down, still reaching the arms behind, squeezing that imaginary block. We're going for 2 and 1. Have a little shake out. Okay, so let's move a little bit more now. So I want you to think tailbone facing towards the front of the mat. So we're kind of shifting forwards, and we're cactusing the arms, opening the chest, but leading with the chest. So rather than beginning to fall backwards, we've still got tailbone facing forwards, and we've got chest up to ceiling. Exhale, we're going to push the hand forwards like we did before, but this time bring the hips down, reaching the hands down to the ground, still rounding down. So we inhaled that massive movement to open. We're kind of in a camel cactus here. Exhale, we're rounding all the way down. Okay, let's do that 3 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Opening. Eyes up. Rounding. Eyes to nose. Last one. Cactus, camel. Rounding, kind of a variation of our child's pose. Good, coming all the way back up. We're going to take our first mini vinyasa. So this is our first option. We're coming down into our tabletop, and we're thinking knees, chest, chin. So we've got knees underneath the hips, index fingers facing forwards. We bend into the elbows, keeping them hugged in, and we lower the chest and the chin down. We inhale, shift forwards. We're coming into our baby cobra. Exhale, we're coming back to our tabletop, and now into our downward facing dog. So in our downward dog, we're going to take any movement that feels good. So perhaps that's bending into the knees. Maybe it's skipping all downward dogs today. We're going to take a few breaths here to adjust, pushing the ground away. And then from your downward dog, we're gently going to lower the knees down, coming to a tabletop. Grabbing your blocks, we're going to try something a little unusual, and placing blocks underneath the hands. So you might have cushions that you might also use, or as a replacement to blocks, but when you're ready, coming back up to kneeling, and we're tucking the toes. Now, we're going to remain as straight as we can in the spine here. If you do begin to stick the hips back, that's fine as we lower down, so the hands come down. So, this is the movement that we're going to be doing. We're going to start with toes tucked, tailbone facing forwards, we lean back, and that might just be 1 inch or 2. And then we come forwards, the hands come down, and we lower down. Elbows in. We do this again. So, we lean back in that straight line, we come forwards, hands come down, and we lower down, press back up. Again, so let's do that a few more times. So we lean back, we shift forwards, and we lower down. So we want to lower down with control. If you need to, we can bring blocks on a higher setting. Come back, hands down, lower forwards, elbows in, press back up, back, forwards. Good. Let's see if we can do that a few more times. We're just getting the hang here of this new movement. And then as you feel more confident, maybe you're lowering those blocks down. But it does take control and strength here. Something that I'm still working on. This is a new thing for me. Let's go for 1 more each way. Yeah, really nice. As soon as you're done, we're going to move the blocks to the side again. And we're going to step left foot forwards. We're in our low lunge. Grab your weights now, 1 in each hand. Okay, so if you come to my muscles on your mat class, you'll know this move. We start with a bicep curl. We then have the weights face out as we do an overhead press up to ceiling, a tricep curl. As we bend into elbows, weights come behind the head. We extend the arms back up to ceiling, elbows down. So we're in our reverse overhead press. And then we'll have weights in, we uncurl. So it's super easy, not too complex. So we bicep curl in, we press, tricep dip, extend, come all the way back down. So you've got 4 more of those, we've got 6 in total. So we're now hopefully on number 3. Remembering you can do these without weights, even with the blocks. And if the weights are too easy, this is where maybe you're grabbing those heavier weights. So I'm on my number 4, nearly there. I think this is my last one. Something I always manage to do is lose count. Again, once you're done, we're placing the weights down. And we're taking our vinyasa again. So hands down, knees down. And this time, maybe you're going to stick with knees, chest, chin. Or you're going to shift the hips forwards, tailbone tucking under. So think about tailbone facing knees, lowering down, inhale to lift, maybe into a higher cobra this time. So bend in the elbows, elbows hugging in, chest pulling through. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bring the knees back down, step the right foot forwards, weights in each hand. Same as before, so we're really starting to warm up now. We've got our bicep curl, our overhead press, our tricep dip, reversing that whole motion 6 times in total. So remember, if you're not used to it, and this is something new, you can slow this down. And it's not about being super speedy here. It's about, again, that control, finding that strength, pushing through, even when it gets challenging. You've got this. Think of that affirmation that you made at the start of the class. We're nearly there. So I'm on number 5 now. Remembering you can always pause the video, so that's what's so good about these classes, is you can go at your own pace. Or you can take some out or add some in. You could always use tin cans when you're done. The weight comes down. And we step the hands down, the feet back. This time maybe you're bringing knees up for your chaturanga. I like to really change it up quite a lot. So shifting forwards, lowering down, inhale to lift to up dog. Difference between up dog, we have the hips lifted. Again, press the ground away as shoulders come away from the ears, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog, tuck the toes. Take a few breaths in the downward dog, keeping the hips up. From your downward facing dog, bring the knees down, grab hold of your blocks. You're going to place one on top of the other, making sure there's room overhead. Grab one weight. So we're going to try with one weight to begin with. And I want you to think about blocks being underneath the shoulders. So we've got an arch in the thoracic spine, but we feel strong and supported in the shoulders. The weight is above our head as we then extend the weight to the top of the mat and then back over the head. So we want to be able to find that little arch in the back as well. So overhead and back. So we're just keeping the head in line with the rest of the spine for now as we go for 4 more of these. 4, 3, 2, and the final one. Soon as you're done, lifting back up in any way you can, place the weight down, move the blocks out of the way, cross the legs, step back into your high plank, working through your vinyasa, as always, knees up or down, meeting back in your downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in your downward dog. And then when you're ready, knees come down. Take a child's pose. Take the knees wide, extend the arms forwards. We'll take one more breath here. And then walking the hands back in, coming up to kneeling. So bring those weights a bit closer again. Let's bring them to the right side of the mat. We're stepping forwards again with the left foot, and we're bringing the weights in the right hand. So remember, you can always do this one weight, no weights, both weights, heavier weights, whatever you like. We're bringing the weights to the shoulder, and we're going for our overhead press again. So we're pushing up to ceiling, and that shoulder comes all the way up to the ear as we stomp those weights to press into the ceiling, and we bring it down. So 6 is our lucky number today. So we're going up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place them down. Maybe place them on the left side because we're going to be doing the left side in a second. Half splits. We straighten that front leg and we fold. Look towards those toes as the toes pull back towards the face, and we lead with the chest. Come back into that low lunge. You may need to pad out that back knee as we now bend into the back knee and we grab the foot. So same hand, same foot. So we're going for right this time. And I want you to squeeze that heel towards the bum and then kick the foot away and pull the hand back towards you for 3, 2, and 1. Softly release, swap sides. So we bring left knee down, right foot forwards. We go for our 6 overhead presses, weights in the left hand. I like to place right hand and right thigh, but when you're ready, let's get started. So press up as high as you can and lower down with control. We've got 5 more. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release the weights down. Half splits, we straighten front leg, we take our fold. Also, you could bring hands on top of blocks. Still pulling that chest through. Again, toes back towards you. Press that heel down. And slowly come back into your low lunge, making sure we're on the soft part of the knee, so you might need to pad that out again. Bend into the knee, grab the foot. I'm grabbing the outside of the foot, but you are welcome to grab the inside. Bringing the heel towards the bum, thinking tailbone facing towards the top of the mat. And then when you're ready, we're going to kick the foot away and pull it back towards us. 3, 2, and 1. Gently release, bringing both knees down. Reach both arms up, take an inhale. Exhale, circle the arms back down. Okay, vinyasa again. So hands come down. You can either do this in your tabletop or your high plank. We shift forwards, we lower down. We inhale to lift. Exhale to our downward facing dog. Maybe you're taking a rest pose instead of your downward dog. Maybe you're hanging out in your downward dog today. But if you are in your downward dog, think about 50-50 weight distribution in hands and feet as we push as much as we can into the ground. So we're like, okay, hands aren't just hanging out here. We're using all the fingers to push away. And then our ears are alongside our triceps. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then from our downward facing dog, looking forward, stepping the left foot in between the hands. Grab your weights, one in each hand, as we lift up into our high lunge. First of all, setting yourself up to feel comfortable before lifting the weights overhead. So, get those wobbles out the way. Think about, how does tailbone feel? Can you face it more towards the top of the mat? Can you think about hip bones facing forwards? And then knee over the ankle for this one. Press the arms up to the ceiling. There we go. There's our overhead press with both hands. Maybe we're beginning to feel a little bit tired now. Take a breath in and out. Bring the weights back into the chest and lean over the front leg. Maybe this is enough today, or maybe you're going to take our flies. So our chest flies, we extend the arms forwards and angle, and then we open the arms around shoulder height, a nice bend in the elbows. Bring them back in. We've got 5 more. So opening and coming back in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weights back in, come back up to the high lunge. We've got the weights in the chest. We're then going to place the weights down. Come back to the high lunge, bring hands to prayer, left off into our warrior 3. Maybe you're going to have hands stay in prayer, maybe you're going to have hands on the ground, or maybe arms reaching forwards. But wherever you are in your warrior 3, we're going to take a hamstring curl, bend into the knee, flex into the foot, bring the heel to the bum. Extend the leg back out, come into knee into the chest, bring right knee up as we come up to standing. Again, come back into our warrior 3, embrace every wobble, maybe a full hamstring curl, re-straighten the leg, knees to chest. Again, warrior 3. And I'm wobbling all over the place right now because this is so good for our balance, activating different parts of our brain that we need as we get older. So think every wobble now is setting us up for future us. So we've got our final one. Coming back to our warrior 3. Hands come down, we step the right foot down, we step the left foot back, downward facing dog, shifting forwards into our high plank, knees up or down as we work through our vinyasa today. We're going to go straight onto the other side. So we step right foot through this time, we grab our weights, we lift up into our high lunge. So first of all, getting the stability in the lower legs. So feeling strong, our lower back feels comfortable. Then we extend the arms up to the ceiling, palms facing away as we take just one breath here. Hands come to chest, we lean over the front leg, and we take our chest fly. So we reach the arms out at that angle, and then we open and close for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soon as you're done, the weights come down. Out of the way, we bring hands to prayer, center of the chest, and we lift up into our warrior 3. We bend into that left leg, re-straighten, knee to chest, coming up to standing. Okay, 5 more times. So that warrior 3, hamstring curl, knee to chest. 4 more. Take your time. If you fall out, we're simply coming straight back in. You've got this. Think of that intention that you made at the start. And then I'm on my last one now. If you've still got more, keep going. Finishing in that warrior 3. And then stepping that left foot back, right foot back, downward facing dog. Coming into your high plank, and then again, you working through your vinyasa, or skipping it out completely. Yogi's choice. Maybe taking a rest in a seated position, or a child's pose. We've got 5 breaths wherever you are. And if you're in that child's pose, coming back to your downward facing dog, and then walking your feet all the way up to your hands, rolling yourself all the way up to standing, head coming up last, take some shoulder rolls at the top of the mat, and then grab your weights again, bringing one into each hand, into the center of the chest. So we're going to go for our sissy squats. So actually, let's bring our blocks at the top of the mat, and you can put them on the highest setting, maybe even to a capital T. So you just want them to be quite high. This is going to be our scaffolding, and our weights are in the chest. We're standing quite close to our blocks, okay? And we're going to start off with sissy squat. So I want you to think tailbone facing forward, so we get that flat bum posture, and we're bending into their knees. So quite often I see when people do this, they're kind of just bending into their knees, leaning back a bit, but their bum's just coming down. I don't want you to do that. I want you to think tailbone facing forwards, so really tacking under, bending into the knees as our back all the way draws a line to our knees. Then we begin to lift the heels and tap the knees, perhaps onto the blocks. Okay, so we've got 6 of those. So we're tapping down and then coming back up. So kind of think of the matrix. Let's go for 6, 5, 4. You can always lower the blocks. 3, 2, and 1. Good, coming back up. We're going to take a tree pose with or without weights. Right sole of the foot on the left leg. So the sole of the foot can be anywhere on the left leg as the right knee faces out to the side, but you're stomping the left leg down, left foot down. And then we're going to come into a half hanging moon. So extend the right leg back, and maybe we're going to open the arms. Let's flex into that right foot, doesn't matter how high it is. And then when you're ready, place the weights down, keeping the legs the same. Left hand is going to come down to that scaffolding as you bend into right knee, maybe grabbing the right foot. Once you've got the foot in the hand, maybe you're beginning to kick the foot into the hand and pulling it back towards you for 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the hold, beginning to lift the torso up. So if you haven't got hold of the foot, now's the time to re-grab it. And then we're going to grab the inside of the foot, so the big toe edge. Bring the left hand to the heart. Again, tailbone faces forwards. Take a breath in. Exhale, begin to kick the foot away behind us, lifting up as high as you can, keeping the torso lifted. Kick, kick, kick. 3, 2, 1. Stay there. Inhale, lift the arm to the ceiling, left arm. Maybe you can lift that right leg a bit higher. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to slowly step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Right hand down, left hand down, downward facing dog. Take a breath here, move all the props out of the way. Option to work through your vinyasa again, shifting forwards into a high plank. Or again, skipping it out completely. So exhale to lower, inhale to our lift back bend, downward facing dog. So let's try that on the other side. So we're going to walk the feet back to the hands. Forward fold at the top of the mat, rolling all the way up. And then we're going to set our scaffolding. So maybe you're going to go a bit lower now, or maybe you're going to stay the same. Weights in the chest. To our sissy squat. So tailbone faces forwards, shoulders back and down. We begin to touch the knees to our scaffolding and lift back up 6 times. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the weights perhaps in the chest as we bring the left sole of the foot to the right leg for our tree. Feeling strong and stable as hips are opening forwards. And then coming into our half moon, extending the leg behind. Then once the legs feel stable, we open the arms. And then from our half moon, we're placing the weights down, coming back into the half moon shape. Maybe the right hand on the props or on the ground. And then bending into that left knee, so the one that's in the sky. Maybe the hand grabbing for the foot. And then if we have the hand on the foot, we're beginning to kick the foot away, pulling it back towards us. Staying here for one more breath. Slowly lifting up, holding the foot still. If you haven't got the foot, we're going to grab the foot now. The hand comes on the inside of the foot and we come into our dancer. So we have the hips facing forwards and we begin to kick the foot away behind us. Still using the hand to pull it back in. Lift that knee up as high as you can, keeping the torso lifted. 3, 2, 1. Stay in the same position but reach right arm up to the ceiling. Lift the torso up even more, kick the foot away for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release that back foot all the way down, stepping back into a high plank, a downward dog. Move the props out of the way. And then option to work through your vinyasa again, shifting forwards into your high plank, again lowering down, lifting to your back bend, and then downward facing dog, hips up. From your downward facing dog, we're going to shift forwards into a high plank, taking your tricep press up so elbows stay in as we chaturanga down, press back up, downward facing dog, and then we're going to take a little bunny hop here. So still keeping the upside down V shape, we're going to kick the heels to the bum, back down, shift forwards, high plank, we lower down and back up, and then back to our downward dog. We're going to do our bunny kick, shift forwards to our press up down and up, downward facing dog, last bunny hop, downward dog. Step the left foot forwards, bring it to the outside edge of the mat. We're in a lizard lunge, so hands are on the inside. We've got left foot on the outside. And we're just going to rock forwards and back here. So using that back foot to rock in our lizard. Then staying in stillness, we're going to keep right hand down, bring the left hand to lower back and twist. Keeping the lower back facing down, so we twist with the upper back. And then reach left arm up to ceiling. Take a breath in. And out, left hand comes down. We're going to rock one more time. Staying in our lizard lunge, we're going to drop the left knee out to left side. And then pull it back in. One more time, coming out. And in, bring the back knee down. We're going to take a quad stretch here, so bending into that back knee. Remember, you can always pad it out, grab the foot, pull it in towards you. And slowly release down. Bring both hands down, step the left foot back. Working through your vinyasa again, skipping it out. Stepping the right foot on the outside. We're going for our lizard lunge, so hands are on the inside, again with our rocks, just forwards and back shifting. Keeping that left kneecap up. And then finding stillness, bringing the right hand on the lower back, twisting to the right. And then right hand up to ceiling, keeping the lower back facing down, twisting from the mid and upper spine. Look up to that hand. And drop the right hand down, taking a couple more rocks. Staying in the lizard, now the right knee dropping out, coming onto the knife edge of the right foot. Pulling it back in, one more time, drop the knee out. And in, one more breath in our lizard. Lower the back knee down, bend into the back knee, grab the foot again. Quad stretch. And gently release. Bring both knees down. We're going to take our puppy pose, but with elbows down. So bring the blocks where your hands would be. I like to go mid-setting. And then bringing elbows where hands would be. So elbows are on the blocks, hands together. As the chest melts down, as if we're in puppy. So keeping hips over knees. And then guiding the thumbs to the shoulder blades. Take 3 more breaths here. And release the forearms down. Walk the knees in, gently release, take some shoulder rolls. And when you're ready, coming to lie on your back for your sweet Shavasana. So moving any props out of the way and finding a comfortable position that works for you. So I really like to lie on my back and just completely splay out. allowing the breath to slow down, bringing my mind back to the intention I made at the start of the class. Taking time for the body to rest after that super strong flow. Knowing that you tried your best and moved your body in a way that not only makes you feel good now after this class, but sets you up to feel good as we grow older. For when we use weights, we build up that bone density, so our bones are stronger. We're building up that muscle in parts of our brain that help us balance. So when we do get those wobbles, we can bounce back just like we did today. Knowing that we are resilient and we are strong. And we can overcome these challenging situations, both on and off of our mat. Finding if there's any other areas in your body where you feel tense, so maybe spreading the toes and the fingers before relaxing again. And I'll let you know when we're ready to join back. Begin to breathe a little deeper. Adding movement back to the body in any way you like. Maybe it's stretching or hugging the knees in, or a bit of both. And then eventually making your way up to a seated position with the eyes still closed. As we bring the hands to prayer, blinking, the eyes open, take a deep breath in and out. Bowing to one another as a sign of gratitude for each other, our yoga practice in our community. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Show me your guns, your muscles, give them a kiss. Thank you very much, muscles, and thank you very much, you guys, for showing up on your mats today. Well done. I know this was a super challenging flow. I am out of breath myself, but I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you again on your mat soon.